Hi there, Stan the Annuity Man, America's annuity agent, licensed in all 50 states, sporting the blue Stan the Annuity Man tracksuit that everyone's envious of and trying to figure out where they can get it. You can't. It's been discontinued, but I'll put my logo on it. Great topic today. We're doing annuity comparisons, lump sum versus reverse engineered quotes, which you can do on theannuityman.com. You can go to the site and run your own quotes and either do lump sum or reverse engineer. But I'm going to go into the details of why that matters and why those two choices matter and which one might fit for you. But not until we hear this song that I wrote when I was flying in my Learjet to the Bahamas to jam with the Stones. Now. All right, so people are feigning at this point because they're saying, did you really jam with the Stones in the Bahamas when you got off your Learjet? In my mind, I did. As George Costanza said on Seinfeld, if you believe it's the truth, then it's not a lie. Unfortunately, that statement holds true for too many annuity salespeople. But enough about that. Let's talk about getting quotes on my site, reverse engineering the quote or lump sum. Now, here's the call I typically get from people, or they email me. By the way, I get all kinds of emails, and I do respond to every single one of them because I have no life and I'm up until the midnight every night responding to emails. But what you need to do is go to my site, schedule a call with me. A book a call is at the top left-hand corner of the site. You get me for 30 minutes and then I can run quotes for you as we are talking. It's fantastic. But the call I get is, hey, I've got $300,000. I want income in 5 years from now. How much will that produce? Or I have $400,000. I want income in 10 years. How much income will that produce for me and my wife, or me and the spouse, or me and the partner? That's a typical lump sum quote. Now, remember, with annuities, and there's many types of annuities that we can quote for lifetime income, and that's in essence what we're talking about, lifetime income quotes. And remember, annuities were put on the planet in the Roman times. I'm not going to do any Latin for you, but my CEO tells me that the root word annua means either payment or lifetime payment. I wasn't listening too close, but that's what she said. And I said, really, that's cool, because that's where the word annuity comes from. But back then, back in the day when the Roman soldiers were laying it on the line for the empire, the Roman Empire says, hey, I really appreciate you laying it on the line. And what we're going to do for you is give you a pension for you and your family that's going to pay you for the rest of your life as long as you're breathing. Guess what? That's where annuities came from. And annuities are the only product on the planet, product type, that will provide a lifetime income stream for as long as you're breathing. It doesn't matter how long you live. So if you're saying, I hate all annuities, Stan, and this guy told me to hate all annuities, and my advisor told me to hate all annuities, and this ad says I hate all annuities. First of all, you're a hypocrite. Take that the right way, because you already own a Social Security, which is the best inflation annuity on the planet, period. I mean, that's in essence just like the Roman annuity. It pays you for life as long as you're breathing, and the older you are when you start the payment, the higher the payment, because it's primarily based on life expectancy. So when we're talking about lifetime income using annuities, I have set up the Annuity Man site as a consumer, the utopia for annuities. You can go there. No one's going to call you. No one's going to bug you. No one's going to show up at your doorstep. I mean, it's fantastic. You can run immediate annuity quotes, deferred income annuity quotes, qualified longevity annuity contract quotes, and income rider quotes. Those are the 4 annuity types that provide lifetime income. The difference between all of them is, like with qualified longevity annuity contracts, you can only use your traditional IRA qualified type money, but the others, you can use them in IRAs, non-IRAs, Roth IRAs, and you can go to my site and run lump sum or reverse engineer quotes. The lump sum quotes are pretty standard, pretty straightforward. I got this lump sum of money. I'm going to have it start, the income start at this specific date. It's either going to be on my life or joint life. Let's see what the payout is. The payout's going to be based on life expectancy or life expectancies at the time you take the payment. Interest rates play a secondary role. What'd you say? Interest rates play a secondary role. What was that? Interest rates play a secondary role. Don't be the one out there that's going, I'm gonna wait till interest rates move, and then I'm gonna buy them, I'm gonna time it. No, you're not gonna time it. That's not some sales pitch. I'll give you an example. When you're going to take your Social Security payments and you're trying to decide, and maybe you've already made this decision, should I take the payments at 70 or should I take the payments at 65? There's no good answer, just bad sales pitches. If you take the payments at 70, then you have to factor in the 60 payments that you miss, 5 times 12, 12 months in a year, that you miss while you're waiting on the payments, and then how long it's going to take those payments from 70 on to make up for when the payments you missed if you turned it on at age 65. Understand? Nod your head. It's the same thing. So with your lump sum, you can say, okay, I want to put in $100,000. I want it to start in a year. What's it going to pay? Now, with single premium immediate annuities and deferred income annuities, and there's a myriad of choices on how to structure those payments. That's one of the reasons that we need to talk one-on-one at theannuityman.com, where you can book a call. So that's straightforward. You can run the quotes. We're going to quote all carriers, and we're going to list the top contractual guarantees for your specific situation. With that being said, understand that annuity quotes are like a gallon of milk. They change every 7 to 10 days. So don't run the quote, put it on your desk, go to Bora Bora, get back from Bora Bora a month later and go, Stan, that's the quote I want to go with. That one that I ran right before I went to Bora Bora. It's not going to happen because it's not going to be available. That's not a sales pitch. That's just reality. That's the facts. The way to lock in that quote is to go through the application process, get a policy number assigned, and then that's when you lock in the quote. It's just really that simple. That's not a sales pitch. That doesn't mean we want you to go through that application process without you fully understanding what you're buying, good, bad, limitations, and the benefits. And oh, by the way, I need to talk to you as well just to make sure it's suitable and appropriate and you're not putting too much money in. I know what you're saying. Sales gods are like, Stan, don't ever say that again. But it's the truth. A lot of times, people are putting way too much money into an annuity. And by the way, the annuity industry frowns. This is the annuity industry frowning. They frown. Let me do it again. They frown on if you put more than 50% of your investable assets in an annuity of any type, annuities combined. Period. 50%. Most agents are never going to tell you that. They're going to try to slam the whole thing. And the only way they can do that is to doctor the application, which is horrific. But you might not even need an annuity, but you definitely don't need to put too much money into an annuity. So lump summing the quote is an easy one. But what I encourage you to do, this is me encouraging. This is the encouraging look. Come on, I need you to do this. Listen to me. Come on, team. This is it. I encourage you to reverse engineer the quote. What's that, Stan? Good question. That's when you and I have the conversation. I say, okay, tell me about your income floor. Hey, Stan, what's an income floor? Very good question again. The income floor is the income that's hitting your bank account every single month, regardless of who's in office, regardless of the party that you like, Democrat or Republican, Libertarian, it doesn't matter. It's going to hit your bank account. That's your pension. That's the other annuity that everyone owns if you have a Social Security number. It's called Social Security. It's the best inflation annuity on the planet. It's dividend stocks. It's rental income. It's whatever side hustle you have, but it's that amount that's hitting your bank account every single month. That's your income floor. So my question to you is going to be, all right, Fred, how much is in your income floor? How much do you need to pay the bills so you and Bridget, your wife, Bridget, can live the life you want to live, chapter 2 of your life, go out to eat, travel, see the grandkids, see the kids, see America, see the world. What is that amount that you need in that bank account to hit every single month? Is it 5,000? Is it 6,000? Is it 7,000? Is it 10,000? And of that amount that you tell me, how much is already covered by pension, dividend stocks, Social Security, how much is already covered? I'll give you an example. A guy called the other day. $5,000 was the number that they needed every single month, $60,000 a year, not factoring in inflation. Okay, we'll talk about that in a minute. And of that $5,000 amount, $4,000 of it was covered by pension, Social Security, dividend stocks. So they needed a gap fill of $1,000. So we did a reverse engineer quote, solving for $1,000, joint life with him and his spouse. That's a reverse engineered quote. We're filling the gap. We're gap filling for the income floor. Let's talk about inflation, because people are like, what about inflation, Stan? Inflation's hitting. What are we going to do? If anybody in the annuity industry says that they have an annuity product that adjusts for inflation, get up and walk out, shut the Zoom call off, hang up the phone, yell at them, projectile vomit on them, do something, just get out of it, okay? There is not an annuity on the planet that adjusts for inflation. What do we do for inflation? We reverse engineer the gap fill for inflation. So let's take the $5,000, we reverse engineered for $5,000, we put $1,000 a month in place contractually, meaning that we quoted all carriers to see which carrier would require the least amount of money to guarantee that $1,000 a month for both lives. And we quoted all carriers. Remember, annuities are commodity products. You quote all carriers for the highest contractual guarantee for your specific situation. But we're going to do the same thing for inflation. Let's just say down the road, that $5,000, he calls me back and says, hey, Stan, the Annuity Man, America's Annuity Agent, we need an additional $750. What do? We solve for the $750. In my opinion, Stan, the Annuity Man, America's Annuity Agent, the #1 expert on the planet in annuities, except for Moshe Milevsky, who I really like, and Wade Fowle, who I really like. Those are really smart guys, but they're over here, and they're a little shorter than I am, and I'm taller. But we're all three kind of experts in our own field. I'm an expert in me and you talking, consumer talking. They're in the ivory towers. I'm not in the ivory tower. I'm in the truck. You know what I'm saying? Me and you talking. But that's how we do inflation. We reverse engineer the quote to solve for that specific amount. In my opinion, that's the best way to address inflation. Because if you buy an annuity that has an inflation increase built in, then all the annuity company is going to do is lower the payment as compared to the annuity that doesn't have the inflation increase. Visual, no inflation increase, inflation increase. Madonna, 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 okay? You'll never forget that because you'll be like, Madonna? Yeah, Madonna. No inflation increase, inflation increase. So annuity companies don't give that away. So when you go to my site, theannuityman.com, you can run QLAC quotes, DIA quotes, SPIA quotes, and income rider quotes, either lump sum, okay, or reverse engineer. You're saying to yourself, Stan, that is so nice of you to put that in place, for us consumers, for us to just run quotes and not get bothered by some crazy agent. You're welcome. You're welcome. And we're happy to do it because annuities should be bought for their contractual guarantees. There's no urgency to buy them. The urgency is to fully understand them. So run the quotes, run them lump sum, run them reverse engineer, then schedule a call with me so that we can go over them in detail and I can explain the good, the bad, the benefits, and the limitations. Now, last thing before we go, share this, like this, subscribe to this, and I'll see you on the next Stan the Annuity Man YouTube video.